Welcome back. Till now we have covered selection statements. Let us now see looping statements. Looping statements are the Java statements that allow us to execute a specific block of codes a number of times. There are three types of looping statements available in Java: while loop, do while loop, and for loop. Let us first check while loop. While loop has the following syntax: while keyword, opening round bracket, Boolean expression, closing round bracket, opening curly bracket, single statement or multiple statements, and closing curly bracket. Or as you had seen with if else, or if else if else blocks, you can omit curly brackets if there is only one statement, but it is not a recommended practice. Boolean expression represents either of the following: any expression whose result is either true or false, such as age is greater than 20, a Boolean variable such as flag, a Boolean literal true, false is not allowed. We will see an example on this, and a Boolean assignment such as flag equals to true. So what happens at runtime? When Java runtime encounters a while block, it first evaluates the Boolean expression. If Boolean expression is false, it moves the control out of the while block. The while block ends. But if the Boolean expression is true, the control goes inside the while block and start executing all these statements one after another. After executing the final statement, the control goes back to check the Boolean expression again. If Boolean expression is still true, it executes all the statements one more time. But if Boolean expression is false, the control goes out of the while block. These statements inside the while loop are executed as long as the Boolean expression evaluates to true. Let us now solve a problem first without using any looping statements. Then we will see how using while loop can reduce the line of codes manifold and make developers' life easier. Let us see a simple problem in which we have to display hello 10 times onto the console. We have a class _01 example. Inside that we have a main method and 10 system.out.println statement to print hello 10 times onto the console. Let us check the output, run the program, and we see the expected output. Hello appears 10 times onto the console. Now what if you have to display hello 100 times or 1000 times? Are you going to repeat system.out.println statement those many times? It doesn't seem like a viable solution. Looping statements come handy in such scenarios. Let us implement the same solution using while loop. Right click on default package, new, class, type the class name _02 example. There is one more way to add main method to your code. Click on the checkbox next to public static void main and Eclipse IDE will add main method to your newly created class. Click on finish. You have a class with main method in it. Remove the to do line, press Ctrl D. Now create a CTR variable, int CTR. This will keep the current count of number of times hello is getting displayed. So when hello is displayed first time, CTR variable will have value 1. When hello is displayed second time, CTR variable will have value 2, and so on. Any guesses what should be the initial value of CTR variable? It can be 0 or 1 depending upon what Boolean expression you use in while block. Let us check with 0. Write while block, while, opening round bracket, Eclipse IDE adds, closing round bracket. Now we have to write a Boolean expression. One important tip: before writing the logic for complete solution, first check it for a smaller part and later just generalize it. What I mean to say here is that instead of writing loop that executes for 10 or 100 or 1000 times, write the loop that executes the statements 2 or 3 times. If everything works well for 2 or 3 executions, then it will work well for 1000 or 10,000 executions as well. So let us first write a Boolean expression that will print hello twice onto the console. CTR is less than 2, opening curly bracket, press enter, Eclipse IDE adds, closing curly bracket. Write the statement sysout control space and then hello within double quotes. After you print hello onto the console, increment the counter variable by 1. CTR equals to CTR plus 1. Or you can write plus CTR or CTR plus plus. Any of these three statements will work over here. our expectation is that after increment statement is executed, value of CTR in the memory should increase by 1. Here, pre and post increments are not part of any expression. Hence, either one can be used. Save it, run it. It prints hello twice. Let us first understand what happens at runtime. We have an int variable over here. Its name is CTR. It is initialized to 0. When Java runtime encounters the while loop, it first evaluates the Boolean expression. So in this case, for the very first time, it checks if CTR is less than 2. That is, 0 is less than 2. This is true. The control goes inside the loop. It prints hello onto the console. So this will print hello. And then it executes this statement CTR++. Now CTR++ means use the value of CTR in the expression first and then change it in the memory. But there is no expression here. This is just independent statement, not a part of any expression. So simply increment the value of CTR by 1 in the memory. Increment it over here. Now after executing the last statement inside the while loop, the control goes back to the Boolean expression. Now second time it again checks if CTR is less than 2. Now the value of CTR is 1. So for the second time the check is 1 less than 2, which is true. The control comes inside the while loop. It executes this statement. Hello gets printed onto the console. And now it executes this statement CTR++. This will increment the value of CTR by 1 in the memory. CTR becomes 2. Now after executing the final statement, the control goes back again to check the Boolean expression. Now the Boolean expression for the third iteration is CTR is less than 2. That means is 2 less than 2. This is false. The control comes out of the while block. So our logic prints hello twice. If expression check is 2, the loop executes 2 times. Change it to 5 to check how many times loop executes. Save it, run it. Hello is printed 5 times. So now you can generalize your solution to print hello any number of times you want. To print hello 10 times, just make the changes over here. Change 5 to 10. Save it, run it. And hello is printed 10 times. Now if you want to print hello 100 times, you know where to make the changes, right? Change it over here, save it and run it. Hello gets printed onto the console 100 times. No need to copy paste the statements as it was needed in the previous example. The solution using while loop is compact as well. Let me change it to the very first version in which I check the Boolean expression with 2, save it, run it. It correctly prints hello twice. As I told earlier, CTR could have been initialized to 1 instead of 0. Copy and paste whole code so we can compare both solutions. Control C, Control V, comment first set of code, Control Shift /, change the CTR to 1, save it. What changes you will make in the Boolean expression so that you still get the expected output. Before we make any random changes, let us first try to understand what is happening at runtime. So we have a CTR variable. It is of integer type. It is initialized to 1. Now when Java runtime encounters a while block, it first evaluates the Boolean expression. So for the very first time, it checks is CTR less than 2? That means is 1 less than 2? It is true. So it will go inside the loop and execute this statement. So it prints hello. Then it goes ahead and execute this statement. It will increment the counter variable by 1 in the memory. Counter will become 2. After executing the last statement, the control will go back to the Boolean expression. So in the second iteration, it checks is CTR less than 2? The value of CTR is 2. Is 2 less than 2? This is false. The control goes out of the while block and the while block ends. So in this case, hello will get printed only once. Let us verify it. Run the program and hello is printed only once. But we want to print it twice, and to achieve this we will have to modify the Boolean expression. In what scenario the second time check can be true? If we use less than equals to operator instead of less than operator, then the second check will be true. And less than equals to operator will not break the first check as well. This will also be true. So instead of less than operator, let us use less than equals operator. Before we run it again, let us first try to understand what happens at runtime. So we have a counter variable CTR. It is of integer type. Initial value is 1. When the Java runtime encounters a while block, it first evaluates the Boolean expression. For the very first time, the Boolean expression is CTR less than equals to 2? The value of CTR is 1. That means is 1 less than equals to 2? Yes, it is true. So it will go inside and execute this statement. Hence, hello will get printed onto the console. Then it will execute this statement. This will increment the value of CTR by 1. CTR becomes 2. The control goes back to check the Boolean expression again. For the second time, the Boolean expression is CTR less than equals to 2? The value of CTR is 2. That means is 2 less than equals to 2? Yes, it is true. It will go inside the while block. It will execute this statement. So hello will get printed onto the console. Then it will execute this statement. Increment the value of CTR by 1 in the memory. CTR will become 3. The control will go back to check the Boolean expression again. For the third time, the Boolean expression is CTR less than equals to 2? The value of CTR is 3. So that means is 3 less than equals to 2? This is false. The control moves out of the while block and the while block ends. So this time, hello will get printed twice. Let us verify it, run it, and hello is getting printed twice. So when the Boolean check is 2, hello is getting printed twice. What changes will you make to print hello 5 times? Change the Boolean expression to CTR less than equals to 5. Save it, run it, and it prints hello 5 times. There are various ways to solve a particular problem. Initially, I will suggest you to solve a problem by drawing it on a paper to understand what happens at runtime. This will help you to grasp the concept well. Let me copy and paste the logic one more time. Comment the previous code, Ctrl+Shift/, save it. You can further reduce a line in this code. Can you do that? Hint is, you can use pre and post operator in Boolean expression. Pause this video and try to solve it. Once you are done, resume the video and match your answer with mine. Okay, let us change the while expression, CTR++, then remove this line, Ctrl D, remove these comments as well. Save it. Before we actually run it, let us see what happens at runtime. Change this to 2, save it. So over here we have an int variable CTR, integer type. It is initialized to 1. When Java runtime encounters a while block, it first evaluates the Boolean expression. Now this Boolean expression, we have got two operators. So let us first group the operators with higher precedence. Postfix has got higher precedence than relational operator. So let us group it. Now we are left with only one operator. This is a binary operator. It has got left hand side and right hand side. And we know that left hand side will get evaluated first. So for the very first time, when the loop executes, it will check if CTR++ is less than equals to 2. Now what is the meaning of CTR++? CTR++ means use the current value of CTR in the expression. So the check will be is 1 less than equals to 2. Change the value of CTR in the memory, increment it by 1. Now is 1 less than equals to 2? Yes, true. Go inside and print hello. It will print hello. This is the only statement inside while block. So the control will go back to check the Boolean expression again. Now second time, is CTR plus plus less than equals to 2? So the current value of CTR is 2. Use it in the expression. Now go ahead and change it in the memory. The expression is 2 less than equals to 2, which is true. It will come inside, print hello, and the control will go back again to check the Boolean expression. So in the third iteration, it will check is CTR plus plus less than equals to 2. Current value of CTR is 3. Use it in the expression, increment it in the memory, change it to 4. Is 3 less than equals to 2? It is false. The control will go out of the while block and the while block ends. So this code is printing hello twice as expected. So let us run it to verify our solution. Run it. Hello is printed twice. To print it 5 times, make the changes over here, save it, run it. Hello is getting printed 5 times. So we had seen 3 ways to solve the same problem. These 3 blocks are doing the same thing. In the third version, I used post increment operator. You could have used pre-increment operator, but then you may have to initialize CTR to some other value or may change the relational operator. It all depends on the logic you implement. Try it yourself and I'll post the solution in the attached code. I am stopping this lecture here and I will finish this topic in next lecture.